Hello, it's Angela and I'm here to show the cards for the next Hobbybase Club box, which is box 18. It has a kind of Day of the Dead festival or Halloween type theme, and for this first card I've used some of the special embossing powder. Now the embossing powder is this one. It's a wow and it's a glow in the dark. So I've stamped the two skulls in the background in the glow in the dark embossing powder, which obviously I've got lights on so it's not glowing at the moment, but you can see where it is, and it's stamped with this Dovecraft Sugar Skull stamp, which you get in the box, and I stamped with some embossing ink pad, a Versamark, but there are other brands available, and then I sprinkled on the wow embossing powder and heat set it with a heat tool. Now I will say, if you're stamping direct onto black card, you might want to just dust it over with, if you've got an anti-static bag or a little bit of powder, or some people use flour or corn flour, or talcum powder, just so you can stamp and not have any sort of fingerprints embossed anywhere on there, because black does show it up quite a lot. Now for the wobbly skull there, I've used the die that comes in the box, which is this one here, which is a Dovecraft die, and it's a sugar skull. I think Dovecraft make them in slightly different designs as well, so I'm not sure what's coming in your box, but this is the one I've got in mine. They're all lovely. So I've cut this one from some glitter card that I had. If you've got some glitter card, it's best to cut the top image from that and then layer it onto a non-glittered card. It just helps it stick a bit better, because it can be quite hard sometimes to stick glitter onto glitter, especially with a very intricate cut like this die is. It's beautiful, isn't it? Now for the eyes, I've used some heart-shaped gems. You could perhaps colour them in or use whatever you have. Now I thought it'd be fun to have this one as a wobbly thing, which is quite simple. I'm not sure if you can see there. Basically all I've done is fold a small strip of acetate and covered it over with a piece of black card underneath. You can't really see that joint unless you're really looking for it. It just adds a bit of movement, and if you fold the acetate you can work out how far you want it to stand away from the card. You could do the same sort of thing with a piece of normal card if you want, but acetate's good because it's clear and you get a lot of movement. Right, for the rest of the card I've used some of the papers that come in the box. I've cut a strip of the skull pattern paper. Now that one's a double-sided paper and the other side is this lovely floral effect. So I've cut a strip of that and I've cut it with some fringing scissors. If you don't have fringing scissors, just use normal scissors. Just adds a bit of interest, texture and movement to the bottom also. Now the sentiment I've used actually came on the papers too. I'm not sure what papers you'll get in the box, so perhaps you could add your own sentiment if you don't get one of these sheets in there. Got all sorts of things to cut out. Now I've kept it as Muchas Gracias. You could put Happy Halloween or anything you want there really, depending on what you celebrate. Or perhaps it could be a birthday card even for a gothic friend, or anyone who likes the skull imagery. But that's that one there with the wobbler. Thank you for looking. Bye bye.